All right, welcome to episode 39 of the Moose Knuckle podcast. mooseknucklepodcast.wordpress.com. Sorry about that. So this episode is going to be a little bit different. There's nobody here but me, so that's kind of weird. Some things have changed, and I know we haven't had a episode out in a while. So Steve got a new job and actually moved out of state. So obviously anyone listening can understand that. There's a lot entailed with that. So me, him, and Luke did talk about still trying to do the episodes over Skype or something like that. We haven't really figured that out, but that's not important right now anyways. I mean, he's dealing with other stuff. Who knows if he'll even still be able to do it. Devin also got another job, still in Alaska though. So we kind of decided probably going to take a break for the summer. I thought about me and Luke doing it, but we tend to agree a lot, so I didn't think it'd make for the best podcast when it's like, oh, hey, yeah, what do you think about this? Oh, yeah, I agree, dude. Yeah. So there's plans moving forward to keep it going. How we'll do that, not exactly sure yet, but we'll figure it out. So I thought in the meantime, I would just talk about some ideas I jotted down. I don't know if it's going to work or not. So please let me know. Comment, email, something. Go to the website, let us know. Okay. Sorry, I had to pause there and go grab some water, take a little drink. I didn't really plan this out all that well. And since I'll be doing most of the talking, I thought I should get some water or something. But the first thing I wanted to talk about, actually something happened recently I thought I would talk about. So I've talked about before how I'm terrible with women on this podcast. It's pretty much been that way my whole life. And it's something, man, I forget what episode it was anyways. Basically the one where Luke made fun of me for acting like what do you call it, neckbeard, I think is what he said. I don't know what that means. But basically being unmanly, I guess you could say in a way. Anyway, so that girl said I wasn't aggressive enough. Fair enough, I'm a quiet dude. I can see where she's coming from. So I decided, well, outside of the podcast, me and Steve talked about how, something like that might happen and then you go too far the other way. So I was like, well, I got to make sure I don't do that. I mean, I am an asshole, but I'm a quiet one, so I hide it. But I decided to be more direct, just try not to be as shy. It's going to be hard, but, I'll give it a shot. So recently I was talking to a girl, and she said, what did she say? She said, every time I talk to you, I feel uncomfortable, like you're challenging me. At which point I said, all right, I can take a hint. Okay, thanks. It was nice talking to you. And then she messaged me back and said, oh, it wasn't a hint. I was trying to be helpful or something like that, I think she said. And I said, well, how was I supposed to interpret that then? And then she got very angry. I don't remember everything she said, but she told me to stop talking to her. And this is when, well, it wasn't right then, but it happened a little bit afterwards. I'm going on a tangent here. So I have talked about how I went back to school. I want to try and do stand-up. I know I should have started by now, but I haven't. But all of this is in a quest to find something I want to work hard at. Because you have to work hard at whatever you do in life, I think. But if it's not what you want to do, it's very draining. Not saying it's going to be easy when you find what you want to do, but it'll be easier, if that makes any sense. So, that's why, I've been trying different stuff. I think I already said that. Anyways, like I said, this is going to be a weird one. I'm just here rambling by myself. So let me know what you think. But anyway, so it occurred to me, because essentially, I'm trying to find my passion, what I might be best at in life. Not what's best in life, Conan, Lamentations, crush your enemies, blah, blah, blah. But what I'm best at. And it all of a sudden occurred to me, what if my best natural talent is just, I have the uncanny ability to just piss women off. Like, no matter what I do, eventually I'm going to piss them off. Like, what if that's what I'm best at? And I was like, well, damn, I'm kind of fucked then, aren't I? But that was really into that. Maybe that wasn't entertaining in any way, but it just occurred to me that pretty much every woman I've ever talked to has ended up disliking me in the long run. I'd say it's pretty safe to say. So the next topic I wanted to talk about was something recent that actually happened. Was the Supreme Court ruled that gay marriage is legal in all 50 states, which I think is a very good thing, because separate but equal is not equal. Even if we had, civil unions were legal everywhere, which they're not. But I did think there is a small group of people. I gotta stop talking so quick. I'm gonna run out of breath. There's a small group of people that actually did not benefit from this situation. I'm not talking about conservatives who are upset, oh, it's unnatural, something against the Bible, blah, blah, blah. But, 'cause guys, gay or straight, are still guys. They want their cake and being able to eat it too. So what I'm getting at is there had to be a small population of gay men who were just banking on gay marriage being illegal forever. Now, they regularly probably had this conversation of, and this isn't a new idea to me. This occurred to me, I don't know, a few years back when California was voting on gay marriage. And what occurred to me was there was definitely guys out there who would just say, essentially what dudes do, just say anything, but in this case, again, do another dude's pants, not a chick's pants. But they would say anything, right? And then they could essentially be in a relationship, and they could lie every damn day and feel perfectly comfortable with it, saying, look, I'd love to get married, but we just can't do that because it's illegal. So they get to go on their merry way. That might have been a poor choice of words. But they get to go on their merry way, just fucking all day long to their heart's content and never having to make a real commitment until today. And the hardest part had to be when they were around all their gay friends. Well, I don't know where they were at, but I'm assuming there were some that were, in a group of friends when they heard the announcement come down. And secretly, inside, they were devastated. But on their face, they had to put on one hell of a performance and just show the most jubilation they've ever faked in their entire life, knowing that their gravy train is over. It was ruined. Now they got to sign that piece of paper. Now they got to make a real commitment. So that was just a thought I had. Let me know what you think about that one. All right, next thing I wanted to talk about was the essentially the race for presidency already being on. I realized when Donald Trump announced, and it made me think of him and Ralph Nader, that there should be a limit on the amount of times you say you're going to run and never actually have any intention of winning. I mean, I pretty much every time I can think of since I was a kid, he said he's going to run, and then we have to listen to him go on TV and basically say a bunch of bullshit that is never going to happen. It's just as bad with Ralph Nader. Might even be worse. Well, no, it's not worse because he's always with, I don't know, Tea Leaf Party or some shit weird green party. You don't really hear from him that much. But they're showing Donald Trump on Fox News like 24/7 and saying shit like he has a plan to deal with ISIS because he went to... I'm guessing this comes from the fact that he's an arrogant, pompous asshole and he went to military academy and he thinks somehow, oh yeah, I got training, but he's so fucking old and they were teaching him. He was using rowboats and muskets in his military training, so I fail to see how he's going to deal with ISIS at all. Not to mention he's no real world battle experience, so then I don't know. There should just be a cap on the amount of times you said you can run. I'm not gonna lie, I thought this was gonna go a little longer. I thought I'd be able to elaborate on these topics. I was like, oh, I'll just say something, it'll come to me. No, I guess not, but it's kind of a process. It'll help me get better, I guess. Let me know what you think again. I always said that, but anyways. So the next thing I was going to talk about. So I recently found out that one of like the hot chicks that went to my high school, everyone can think back at that one chick and you're like, damn, she was hot. I don't even know if I knew her name in high school. I just knew what she looked like. And her sister was hot too, her older sister. And I think I was in between them in grades. Anyway, that part's not important. But she knows somebody I know, and she got married, and they were posting, I don't know, what do you call it? Like, before the wedding. Oh, no, not the wedding reception. I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't know shit about weddings, okay? The part where everybody meets each other before the wedding, like the family stuff, I guess. I don't know what it is. Either way, the pictures with them together were so weird that I was like, is that like her weird cousin or her brother or something? Like, it just didn't look right. Like, it was unnatural. And I didn't tell anyone that, like, this was the hot chick from high school. I just showed a few people, like, the picture, because it was on Facebook, and just asked them what they thought. And they were like, yeah, it's kind of weird. And I didn't look into this too much, but it's just weird. Like, it's like if I went, on African safari to the Serengeti and I got there and antelopes were chasing lions down, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, this is completely backwards. Did they give the antelopes meth? Are they shooting laser beams out of their eyes? They got missile horns now or some shit. It's just unnatural. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I'm not saying he shouldn't have her. There's nothing against him in particular. It's just so weird. Like, she's a definite 10 in Alaska. I'm going to say pretty much anywhere else, she would be like a 9. And maybe if you put her up against, like, tons of other hot chicks, she'd be like an 8, maybe a little bit less, only because she's only, like, average height. But she's that right kind of build and, like, a good face. So it's just weird, because this dude is, like, a schlubby type dude. It just doesn't make sense. And then, it's not like I did a ton of research. I'm not Facebook stalking, even though it sounds that's exactly what I'm doing. But there was a couple pictures where they were all posing together, like whatever you call it, the wedding party, I guess. And they were sitting down, and she would like lean in. Excuse me, burped off mic. She would lean in to like make sure she looks good in the picture and like slightly block him. And there's no way she couldn't tell she wasn't blocking him. She was like, oh, I got to make sure I look good. And then you just kind of got to accept I'm blocking you. And there's just a couple pictures like that make me feel like, okay, she's in control. But it's still, even with that, the number disparity and level of hotness is just too great. Like, even if he's just mad pussy whipped, like, I still feel like, I don't know. Like, he doesn't look like he's rich. It's very weird to me. Like, it makes no sense. Like, you can tell she's in control. But even with that, I don't know. Maybe she's just so controlling. That doesn't matter that she's that hot. Like, other dudes only put up with it for so long and then left. But this dude just kept sticking around. I don't know. These are all guesses. Maybe everyone else. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot. Everyone I showed the picture to, at least all the dudes were like, one must have a big dick. Immediately, that's what they said, because fucking numbers, the disparity in the level of looks is that great. All right, the last thing I wanted to talk about was something that happened in my neighborhood. So they recently redid like a section of concrete for our bike path. It was kind of, I'd say between the left and right side, there's about an 8 inches difference in height. And bike path's probably about 3 feet wide, so that's quite a little tilt. So they basically tore it all up, put down some new concrete. They also put in these new little curb type deals on the edge of the sidewalk. And for whatever reason, it took them like 2 weeks to do this. I have no idea why it took that long. But they had this whole little setup going. And, damn, I'm running out of breath pretty easy. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's actually a lot of work just to talk by yourself. And I'm not even, well, that's another reason I started doing this. Hopefully, talking by myself, get used to putting more inflection in my voice so you guys don't have to listen to my monotone drone all the time. You know, I'm trying a little bit. But anyways, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, it took them a while to do it. And, hold on, I'm going to digress again. It's not like I'm nervous doing this because almost nobody listens to this. But I'm still running out of breath. But it's not like my heart rate's up. Like, I have no idea why. But anyways. So it took them a while to do it. And they were finishing up one weekend. And they were loading up a Bobcat, like a little tiny end loader, you know. And one guy was ratcheting it down. And I want to say there was 4. Could have been 3, but there was either 3 or 4 dudes just standing around watching him do it. Now, the reason that's important in any way at all is because part of when they were doing whatever they were doing is they used gravel fill to even some stuff out. So in the road, I know they weren't finished with the project. I should say that. This was a Friday. They were coming back for like 2 or 3 more days. But there was like not an ass. Okay, I'm exaggerating. There was a good amount though of, I don't know. No, it's not gravel. What's it? It's called like fill, I think. It's like the quarter size rocks. But so there was a good amount of that like across the road, and you're not gonna complain while they're doing stuff. But they're leaving for the weekend. and they have brooms, and there's like 3 or 4 dudes just standing around while one dude's working, and they're like, oh yeah, just getting ready to get out of here, but we're just gonna leave all these fucking rocks in the middle of the road. We're not gonna, don't bother cleaning up at all, you know. It's not like that should be part of our job. And then, but here's the other part. So when they did finish, they didn't really clean it up. Like, I was already kind of pissed. Like, I know it's the weekend, but you could at least push it over into, like, the gutter. You know, get it out of the way. But then when they fucking left, they still just left it there like a bunch of assholes. But then I started thinking, too, this is a systemic problem with everything. It's the same thing when you watch somebody work for, like, 5 minutes to balance the cart so it doesn't roll away and hit somebody else's car. You know, spend a good 5 minutes doing it, but the cart return is like 20 feet away. So if you walk down there and put it back where you should put it, since you took it all the way out to your car, you would be done by now. But I have to watch you do this retarded dance, trying, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, gotta get the wheel just right. Oh, I'm on a bump. Because you gotta get home to watch some stupid fucking reality show nobody gives a shit about except you. And then you get upset at other people who have the exact same attitude you do when they act like something's not important. Like, you go in, so the example, you know, you go into the grocery store where you just did the retarded dance with the cart, and you ask somebody where something is, and they're like, oh, no, I don't know. And you act like, you get pissed that they don't care. They're like, they're getting paid to do this. But it's the same fucking thing you're doing. Like, you're not putting in the extra effort. But that's the problem. You see them doing it. What the fuck was that? Heard something. Sorry. But anyways, so it's essentially the same thing. You're getting pissed at them not putting in more effort, but you're also not willing to put in more effort. That's the problem I have. Like, people are always like, they get pissed when somebody won't do something. This is the analogy I always use. They get pissed when somebody cuts them off, but then they'll cut somebody off. They're like, well, I have the right to, I'm more important. I got shit to do. No, it works both ways. It's the same thing. You got to put in more effort if you want them to put in more effort. And you say, well, what's the big fucking deal? Because it just trickles down. Everyone just gets this attitude, you know? Oh, I just do the minimum, do the minimum. And I'm not saying we're in a terrible spot because of it. Oh, you know, America's crumbling. We have no work ethic, blah, blah, blah. It isn't that. Because it's everything. It's just the little extra things that would make life better. No one's willing to put in that time, I think. Like, people, like, I walk around my neighborhood or ride my bike. And I started recently, sorry, I had to breathe there. Recently started taking, like, a trash bag with me. Because I see all this trash. I'm like, how come nobody's fucking picking this up and just walking by it? And then I'm like, oh, hey, asshole, why don't you do it? Why would you get mad at other people not doing it if you're not doing it? So I started doing that. But, you know, just something to think about again. I don't know if any of this has been good or useful at all. Just ideas I jotted down. It's only about 20 minutes right now. Oh, a little bit, almost 25. So, you know, definitely let me know what you think. We will eventually be back with the normal episodes, I hope, if you hated this one. Like I said, I think it's good practice for me, though. Make me better at when I do try stand up, talk like a normal person instead of like this all the time. And hey, you guys, you know what would be funny? I know it's not that bad, but you get what I'm saying. So check out the website, moosnuklepodcast.wordpress.com. It has a link to everything, our Facebook page. I know people don't really use that anymore that much. I think they use Twitter and shit, but we do have a Twitter account. There's really nothing on it. Just post our episodes automatically, but you can follow that. You can subscribe on iTunes, leave a comment there. It'll help us out somehow, I'm sure, someday. Tell a friend. Definitely let me know what you thought about this episode. Like, anything. I assume it'll mostly be negative, but I'll take the criticism. It'll help. So that was episode 39. Have a nice night.